Pumpernickels.
It works. It works. It works.
Okay.
The problem is my speaker is having issues, so
we are now live. Okay, good. Right, so hello everyone, and welcome one and all to the Geek Battle show here on the Improv Xstreamed YouTube channel, as well as Geek Battle and the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe wherever you're watching, and it's time. Here come the intro. Okay, that didn't work. We're going to give it another try. Here we go.
Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone. We discuss comics and puny minds are blown. We debate Marvel versus DC, Skeletor, X-Men, and Ron Weasley. Judge David slams down the gavel. And Cap dreams of Henry Cavill. It's a Geek Battle stream. Nerd rage as we assemble our Geek Avengers team. Welcome to the Geek Battle party. We are the Justice League and our Batman is Marty. Say Hitler's a Tim as movies are greenlit. Every new movie, Dev's already seen it. Xbox, Star Wars, and Star Wars Star Riders. He-Man, Star Trek, and David loves spiders. We battle as Morrow and Disney will blink. And we try to crown the Geek of the Week. It's the Geek Battle Show. Welcome to the Geek Battleground, where we use the Force and the One Ring is found. Cap is wrong about Resident Evil 6. Everyone watch out, cause oh shit, it's Nick. Gerald and Tim and Diz will try to win at the Geek Battle quiz. David and Dave will confuse their crew as they dive in the TARDIS of Doctor Who. Watch out now, we're full of hot takes. Doc Courtney is garbage, but Red Dwarf is great. You love Sega, I love Nintendo. But in the Geek Battle, we are all friendos. Oh, it's a Geek Battle show. Oh, the Geek Battle show. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Geek Battle show.
Yes, welcome to Geek Battle. Today we're going to be discussing all kinds of exciting things. I'm here, Cap here, and oh shit, it's Nick.
It's Nick.
Oh wait, we haven't done intros in a while, guys. I forgot sign of what we need to do here. Hold this. Oh, and he's gone again. In that case, I'm going to come to you, Cap. Boom. Okay, Cap, I don't know about you. What do you think is going on with Nick at the moment?
We are getting a sneak preview of Nick's neck.
The
shoulder
reason. Of Nick.
Wait, sorry, I was moving in my house from my dining room to my bedroom.
No, it's all good. So, Cap or Fave, say hello to the people, and if you've got a random geek trivia fact, hit us in the face with it.
Hail from the land of leopards, elephants, and crocodiles. It's me, Cap, and I recently seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. And the geek fact that I can dig up from that, it is actually based off a book by Arthur C. Clarke. And in the book, the space object was meant to be a pyramid, but in the movie they went with a obelisk. The problem was they couldn't really decide on what they should go with. And at the end, they decided on, let's just go with the simplest thing they can possible. And it turned out to be an obelisk. But Stanley Cooper actually wanted to be a transparent plexiglass obelisk. But then when he saw it, he thought it looked cheap. So he went with a black one.
Okay, good. I have never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. Nick, have you?
I have.
Oh, okay. So I'll sit back. You guys tell me, tell me all about it. Is it worth seeing?
I want to hear your opinion first before you hate me.
I like A Space Odyssey.
Is it still worth
Fair
watching
enough.
today?
Probably.
Okay. Cap, why shall we hate you for this?
Okay, so here's the thing.
He's wrong.
No, it's a great concept. I love the concept, and there's elements about it that I really like. But I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are gonna lose their mind. I'm thinking like Stanley Cooper is the original M. Night Shyamalan and Zack Snyder.
Stanley Cooper.
Yes, because you know how we say like
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, Kubrick, or whatever his name is, the guy who did the 2001 Space Odyssey. The reason why I say this is because we know how we make fun of like Snyder and Shyamalan focusing on certain shot, overly showing the sets and cinematics of it. That all came from this movie. There's a black screen for 3 minutes. Whatever shot there is, we spend way too much time looking over the set and visual. Not enough dialogue at all. There's like 25 lines of dialogue probably in this whole movie. I would say, again, I like the concept. There's a bit of a Christopher Nolan-ness to it, I would say. But the thing is, like, the weird thing is, Christopher Nolan's films are entertaining because there's actual dialogue in them, and it's actually, confusing as it is, can be followed up by some of the story. But this one, the problem is, it's the lack of dialogue. I know it's meant to be a space opera thing, but again, it just screamed of pretentiousness of Zack Snyder and M. Night Shyamalan without substance to me.
Okay, I'm putting it on the list. It was somewhere on the list, but I need to see this now. I'll be honest. Some of what you've said, for what I've seen, clips or whatever, it rings true. It hasn't been something where I've been like, oh, I've got to see this. I'm sure it was kind of a big deal in its time, and I'm sure a lot of things that have come since have taken from it and built upon it, and so whatever it had
a lot of the technological prediction that they made actually is very true. For that, I have to give them, and I understand like it's 1968, people haven't seen anything like this. I think it was even before the moon landing. I think the film came out, so I'm not really sure. I think that film is the reason why there's a conspiracy theory where people think Stanley Kubrick is the one who directed the moon landing and it was not real because of this film.
1968. Again, wow.
See, a lot of people thought they saw this film and assumed how real it is. They assumed that Stanley Kubrick was the one who faked the moon landing because how good was he depicted that in the Space Odyssey film. And for that, I give it credit, but still, as from a movie entertaining perspective, like it's the same as how CGI people, when they have a really good CGI, they really like to show us by focusing on the leaps and the micro droplets that are generated by CGI to us. Look, we animated this. You must look at its gorgeousness. That's how it felt like to me. But I appreciate of that time, it would have been amazing to see.
I think it sounds right. I think there's films from that period, and the ones that jump to my mind is The Exorcist, being like, oh, it's so scary. That film is a chore to watch. It is not at all scary to the modern eye, but I can appreciate that back in the day, probably people had never seen anything like it, and it was terrifying. And so, even The Shining. The first time I watched The Shining, I was like, this is boring as shit. And when I've watched it since, I appreciate it for what it was. But
David, are you talking about The Shining?
Oh, you don't want to get sued, do you? Says groundskeeper Willie. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I am speaking about The Shining. Now, Nick, we will come to you next. We also have Dev who has arrived, but Nick, tell us things.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm from Virginia. That's all I got. My Geek Factor of the Week is picking. I actually forgot that we had a geek show today. Man, cool thought. Well, but I saw the announcement that Dave puts it on our group chat, and I was like, so in the show Recess, there's an episode called the Omega Kids, I believe. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It's called School World, where they do a where the school in Third Street Elementary, they put in a parody of HAL 9000 called Sal 3000, and it's a total parody of
2001: Space Odyssey.
2001. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, we need to get our own version of that at some point as well.
The other thing that I have to say is if you ask your smart home device by Amazon to open the pod bay doors, it'll say, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, I cannot open the pod bay doors. Also, you are not Dave.
I am Dave, though.
Yeah, the protagonist of that film
Yeah.
is Dave, though.
Yeah, they've got that right, certainly. Okay, right, now. Dev, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. And my geek fact is that they did some weird things to Karate Kid Legends.
Oh, really?
That is all.
Oh, I'm going to see it as soon as I'm able to. When is that out? If that's out now,
Today.
I'm going, guys. Sorry, guys. Right, this was fun. Okay, I'm off. Now I'm back. Right, okay. Oh, damn.
How was it?
Shit. I might need to see that tomorrow. Right, now, my name is David, and I did not know that Karate Kid Legends was out yet. So, I made a huge blunder there. I could still get to it in 45 minutes. I'll just go tomorrow. It's on at 9 a.m. That's amazing. Right, okay, good. So, here's the big thing. The big thing I think we need to dive into straight away. Boom! New Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Official cast of the
Jenna
Harry Potter
Ortega, Jenna Ortega, Neville Longbottom, and another Weasley.
And another Weasley, yeah. So, but no, what do we think? I think they look like the cast. I can see it.
I don't like Harry.
You don't like Harry? Why not?
Yeah. Again, like, he screams of Neville Longbottom to me.
Wow. Okay.
So I was watching one of my favorite Harry Potter YouTubers, and he was saying, which I agree with, that the girl that's playing Hermione this time around is more accurate to the book description than Emma Watson.
Right. In what way?
So the way that she's described in the book is bushy haired and with slightly bigger and with buck teeth. Whereas
Damn, you're going in on these kids, right? It's just like, you got buck teeth, girl! Right. Okay, hang on.
Stop bullying the 8-year-old.
For me, the girl really looks like Jenna Ortega, a younger version of Jenna Ortega.
yeah, I can see that actually.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
You know
also,
what?
before you say that Emma Watson didn't have bushy hair, I just want to remind you of this.
No, I'm not saying that she did not have bushy hair, but the buck teeth and the kind of je ne sais quoi.
I think they were going for an actual nerdy girl, right? Like in the books, Hermione was meant to be an actual Velma-like girl more than Emma.
Oh my
Watson is.
god! You said my favorite. I know how you feel about Velma, and you're wrong.
No, Nick, I'm talking about the actual Velma, not that parody Velma.
Right, well, anyway, I think they all look fine. I think this is going to be interesting. I would be really interested to know the process that they went through to get these roles.
The
And-
one that I don't hold
Go
on.
on.
The one character that I'm upset who they cast was Snape, because making Snape a black person, you know, not that there's anything wrong with black people, for the
Yeah,
record.
thank you for saying that, Nick. Try not to get us cancelled here. Where are you? Go on.
But the book describes Snape as very close to Alan Rickman, the late great Alan Rickman.
But it wasn't Snape meant to be like 30.
He was no, he went to school with the
Harry
Potter,
Harry parents.
Yeah.
James and
Yeah.
Lily. So he should have been older. Not maybe 30, maybe late 30s.
No,
I would say-
Alan Rickman
No,
was
I
too
would
old.
say
No.
I would say that with the casting, I would say like Snape is actually meant to be that the emo kid in class, the '90s wimpy emo kid, and after he grows up, he still has that vibe to him. While the new actor that they casted, again, he feels more cool. So it doesn't really. Again, it depends on how they present him on the show.
Like,
But from what I'm seeing is like that guy seems like an actual cool guy who had probably no problems making friends.
Yeah, no, okay, so Dev, I'll come to you.
so yeah, I agree with Cap saying that the Hermione looks like Jenna Ortega, but Harry looks like the brown-haired version of Prince George, Prince William's son.
Oh my god, I need to bring this up. Okay, Prince George. Okay, this is so exciting. I didn't know this. Right, okay. Prince George. Okay, so I assume. Let's have a look here. Okay, so here we see, first of all, let's check out Harry Potter. And then, boom, Prince George. I mean, he's a child. He's a child. So, like, they all kind of look like this. So, anyway, welcome to Geek Battle, where we judge the appearance of children, apparently. Right, so let me give you a couple of thoughts here. So, I think, look, I without getting too much about, like, people's ethnicities and that, like, I know people have commented that Hermione doesn't seem white. She's light skinned, but I don't know what her background is. And people have said about that it will have an impact on characters calling her a mudblood, and that I think is the interesting point in that people will. Well, you know what I mean. I think that's the interesting point. But if you saw the play,
I didn't actually think of that.
But in the play, The Cursed Child, Hermione is played by a black actress, always has been. So I think you can cast characters. Look at Nick Fury. That was David Hasselhoff once upon a time. Let's not forget. So
Yeah.
These things can turn out all right, you know. So let's give it all a chance.
Depends on how cool they present it. I always say that if you have again like Samuel L. Jackson can top David Hasselhoff in coolness, so he did.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson may be able to top David Hasselhoff, but I won't hear a word against the Hoff. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna agree with you, David.
Yeah. Dev.
Regarding Snape as well, don't they spend a lot of like the fifth book going into Snape's past, where he gets bullied by fucking everyone?
Bullied by what?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, no, hang
Bullied
on.
by everyone.
I misunderstood that sentence. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. So look, this is the thing. So some of this will change the commentary on what they're trying to say. But look, they've got, you know, this is going to be Warner Brothers or whatever. Hopefully, they'll, you know, handle it carefully before it changes story or puts meaning onto things that it's not necessarily originally meant to be about.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
I think, look, the full lineup, who have they announced? So John Lithgow is going to be playing Dumbledore. He's an American. Like, he's the most English American there is, but he's an American, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
He's in Third Rock from the Sun, isn't he?
Yeah, Third Rock from the Sun. Absolutely, I love that show. He's Lord Farquaad as well.
And he's also, I think, isn't he in? What is his name?
What's this?
I'm trying to think what else he is in.
What, John Lithgow?
Is he in that? Whose line is it in anyway, or that's someone else?
No. I'd love to see John.
Oh, that's Colin Mulcahy.
Yeah. No, John
What's the
Lithgow.
actually?
If you like, I can't remember. I think it was Clint on the show a couple of weeks ago had watched Dexter. John Lithgow played a really significant character on Dexter. He was Third Rock from the Sun. He was in the Twilight. Have you seen the Twilight Zone movie?
I have, yes.
Okay, so if you remember the original show, there was a William Shatner character on a plane when they remade that in the movie, it was John Lithgow, where it's like, there's a monster on the side of a plane. Yeah.
He was also in Orange
John
County.
John Lithgow is in the sequel to 2001: Space Odyssey.
There's a sequel to it.
Yeah.
Do you mean
It's called
Third World
2002 Space
Sun?
Odyssey.
It's called I forgot the name of it. Currently watching it actually.
2010, the year we made contact.
Yeah.
2010, the year. That's an
How
actual...
do you forget the name of the thing you're watching right now?
What's that?
How do you forget the name of the thing you're watching right now, Cap?
I forget everything.
Right. Well, there you go.
Only
So
only
John Lithgow was
only trivia is
playing
important.
Dumbledore. I don't know the actor's name, but we spoke about the guy who's playing Snape. Nick Frost, who was in like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead, is playing Hagrid.
It's Hagrid.
Yeah, which that makes sense. Like, I love Nick Frost.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to be really good.
Are we going to get Simon Pegg Arthur Weasley?
You know
Wouldn't
what?
that be cool?
Or,
that is a cool casting.
Who's the
Can
guy
they
that's in
afford him?
Avengers?
Can they afford him?
Can they afford what, Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if they can
I can afford Simon
John
Pegg.
Lithgow, and
And
yeah.
they did. I mean, like other guy from the Shaun of the Dead. I think Simon Pegg has, has some Mission Impossible weight on
Yeah,
him.
Who
okay, so
plays
other than
Watson
Mission Impossible, what is
in-
Simon Pegg doing anymore?
Star Trek.
Yeah, anymore, I said.
Mission. You already said Mission. Who plays Watson in Sherlock?
That's someone
Jude
else.
Law.
That's
No, that's
No. Do you mean Sherlock? So that's Martin Freeman.
that's the Hobbit. That's the
the
Hobbit.
guy from Hobbit
Yeah.
and
I would love to see him as Arthur Weasley.
I'd like to see him as Moaning Myrtle.
Why?
Well,
What-
I don't know. I
what-
think there is no way after playing Bilbo Baggins, he'll go into the Harry Potter world and just play Arthur Weasley.
What if he's Voldemort?
So Ian McKellen, after going, well, he was Magneto and Gandalf.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
well, you say that, but Christopher Lee's in fucking everything as everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Christopher Lee was Saruman. Like that's a big role.
He was
Did you
Saruman.
guys-
He was Count Dooku. He was.
He was Dracula.
No, but
It
the
was
point
Dracula.
is, it's not about he'll do two universes. It's like you're not going to play the lead character in The Hobbit and then play Arthur Weasley and like have 6 lines in a season.
Well, then when the
Spider-Man played poker.
look,
Sorry?
they did Arthur Weasley dirty in the original movies. In the books, he's still
Wait,
a
are
beast.
you about to besmirch Mark Williams?
Yes, I'm gonna besmirch Mark Williams.
Oh, he's a great actor though.
No, he is, but they just did his character badly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who
I
are we
can't
talking
find-
about?
Everything is about like who's playing the children. I
My
can't
question
find
is
the rest
this.
of the cast.
Here's my favorite line in Harry Potter, and I know it's not in the books, is when Molly Weasley's about to shoot Bellatrix, and she says, "Not my daughter, you bitch." Are they gonna leave that line in the movie, in the show?
She just needs to be more like Ellen Ripley. Get away from her, you bitch. You know.
I
Although,
would say my favorite line from the whole Harry Potter movies is that when Harry does when Hermione says like that girl is interested in you because you're the chosen one, and then Harry Potter says, "But I am the chosen one," and then they smacks him with the paper. That's my favorite scene from the whole movie. That's what I decided.
What I love is when Ernie when Harry Potter gets on the night bus, and the conductor says,
Yeah,
"Why you fall over?"
I didn't get that one.
I think I'm gonna call it now. We're gonna get one legacy casting, which is Tom Felton will return to be Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
Oh,
Whatever happened to his career? Because like I know he was like
Oh,
after the
he's
Potters, he did
around.
Planet of the Apes.
I
And that was
remember
it.
him from the Blind at the end, but that's all I remember.
Okay, so because I've spoken to him several times.
You've spoken
He's
to
very
Tom
active in the
Felton.
fandom. Yes.
Wow.
So he's very active in the fandom. He is always going to conventions. He's wrote a book,
Who
and
hasn't?
he's mostly making fans' wishes come true online, basically,
Wow.
and making content about Harry Potter and stuff.
Okay. Well, look, here's the rest of the established cast so far. So, John Lithgow is Dumbledore. Jessica Howes. Oh no, that's the photo credit. Jesus. Janet McTeer. Who's she playing? Is that going to be McGonagall? Any ideas? Can anyone hear me? Oh, Cap, you're muted. Cap, you are completely muted.
I was saying that she's probably too young to play McGonagall.
No, I don't think so. I think she could play McGonagall. Then Papa Assadie will play Snape. Nick Frost is obviously Hagrid. Luke Fallon, who's he playing? And I know that Paul Whitehouse is playing... Oh my god, what's the janitor called? Shit.
Mr.
Filch.
Wiggles.
Yeah.
Argus Filch.
Okay, let's have a look to see who it says here. Blah, 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 blah. Janet McTeer. Does it say who they're playing?
McGonagall, yeah.
Oh, yeah, McGonagall.
That's McGonagall.
Okay. Papa has to do... Luke Fallon's Quirrell. Okay. He's playing Quirrell. No.
Who's Squirrel?
He's the one that's got the back of his head. He's got... Yeah.
Ah.
With a Voldemort head.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the good head shape for it.
Now, who's playing Voldemort? Do we know?
That is a good question. Now, you think, though, they don't need to actually cast that... I mean, they could cast that role and, like, do something foreshadowing, have a proper likeness on the back of... or on the back of Quirrell's head. But with like, they didn't announce Ralph Fiennes. Just bring back Ralph Fiennes. Why not?
Yeah.
One of his sons.
Sorry?
Or bring Daniel Radcliffe as Voldemort.
I
know that both his sons are still acting, so...
What? Ralph Fiennes has acting sons?
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look, see what his sons look like so we can judge more offspring. Ralph Fiennes' sons. Okay. Ralph Fiennes. So there's Joseph Fiennes. They should just cast Joseph Fiennes.
They should cast
Did you type in Ralph or Ray? Because his name's Ralph.
It's pronounced Rafe.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Ralph Fiennes. It's not Ray, it's Rafe.
Rafe.
Yeah.
Cypher.
Oh, we
Rafe.
lost what's his face? Nick. I gotta go. Oh, he's not even coming back. Thanks for saying goodbye, Nick. Right. Okay, but yeah.
He was about to. You guys cut him off.
I didn't know. Like, you need to announce these things properly.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Like...
I think again. I think there's going to be a lot of cameos. I assume is going to happen. Not sure probably about the main cast. I don't know how the main cast feels about returning to cameos and things like that.
The only one who would is Rupert Grint. Rupert Grint.
Who's that?
Ron.
Okay. Because like I think that they will result to cameos if the show doesn't do well. Like if the show tanks, the one thing they will be let's bring in Daniel Radcliffe. Let's bring in
like Rings of Power.
Yeah, they will just be like cameoing the whole thing if the show tanks.
Yes. No. Look, I think the bigger problem, and I've said this before, so I'm not going to feel too bad about it. But I think it's when you think about the movies that got made, and like the main cast that they had, the fact that they didn't have to recast any of them because like child actors like imploding and stuff like this, just going crazy, getting involved in drugs or something like that. Like,
Well, technically they didn't. There's one they did.
who?
Alcohol
Goyle.
problem.
Who?
Goyle,
Goyle.
one of Malfoy's
Yeah.
minions.
What happened to Goyle?
He got arrested.
For? Do I want to know?
Drunken rage or like fighting
Drunken
someone
rage.
or something.
Goyle.
Isn't that why he wasn't in the last fight scene
Yeah.
with the Malfoy and the Slytherin boys? They made like, what happened to Goyle?
Okay, his only film role to date is that of Vincent. Oh no, this is Crab. I put in Goyle arrested.
Was it Goyle or Crab? One of them
It
got
looks
arrested.
like it might be Crab. Legal issues. On the 7th of April 2009, and a friend were pulled over by police. The officer then searched the vehicle, finding a knife and 8 bags of cannabis. Blah, blah, blah. Images on a camera led to his mother's house. Is it his mother? Yeah, his mother's house, where additional cannabis plants were discovered. Why, if you're in the Harry Potter movies, are you growing cannabis?
Side gig.
Magic?
Side gig. Okay. He appeared in court, blah, blah, pleaded guilty to growing the plants in his mother's home, but claimed personal use and not for distribution. 120 hours community service. He has previously been accused of using cocainum in October 2006. Wow, bad boy. Arrested. Oh, God, 2 years later.
When was this? What year was this?
He was arrested in
2009 and
2011 for his participation in the August 2011 London riots.
Okay, so how old was he in 2011?
Okay, he was born in 1989. Isn't that crazy that he was probably... Wait, these new children, they were probably not even born.
Yeah.
When the movies were out.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Right.
but my question is this, right? In 2011, like the whole thing became legal in the US, right?
What, cannabis?
Yeah.
Nah, not completely. Some places.
No.
Okay.
It was until like 2018.
But it didn't. Was it a big thing? Where like actors doing that stuff kind of thing in 2011?
Okay, so using it is one thing. Having a shit ton of it at your house is another.
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay. So it says here in the London riots, charged with violent disorder, having an article with the intent to destroy or damage property and receive stolen goods. He was specifically accused of possessing a Molotov cocktail whilst looting a pharmacy. Why? This is crazy. KD!
Speaking of cannabis.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing there. We were just
What happened
talking
to the
about
link? I've been here like the whole time, man.
I didn't know. Look, okay, so KD, I've got to apologise. We've got a group for Slam Jam. We've got one for Geek Battle. My guess is you're
I
probably
thought it
not...
might have been that, to be honest.
I'll add you into the chat for Geek Battle because that way you'll get the link when it comes up. But yeah, so we were just saying about the kid that played Crab in Harry Potter, who had a Molotov cocktail and was only in the films up to the Half-Blood Prince. So did they not? Did they
They
recast
kicked him out. No, they replaced his character with Blaze Zabini as the new minion.
Wow, there you go. So yeah, KD, just to catch up a little bit more, I'll show you here. We've got you've probably seen these somewhere about the place, but the new casting of Harry, Ron, and Hermione for Harry Potter. We were just talking about.
As we like to say them, Jenna Ortega, Neville Longbottom, and another Weasley.
And another
I did hear and I heard somebody point out that someone was not black enough or was black enough or something along those lines.
Oh no, neither of those quite things. So one of the controversy that people are discussing online is well, look, in the play, the cursed or cursed child, I think it's just the cursed child. Obviously Hermione was always played by a black actress, and people are discussing online saying about when it will have like racial overtones when they start calling her mudblood and stuff like this. I'm sure either they'll alter it or something. I'm sure they'll handle it so that it.
Yeah, people always overblow those things, don't they? Really?
do.
Like, as long as they handle it properly.
Yeah, because like they can still look at it from the context of the world that they inhabit instead of drawing a real world parallel. They just go by non-magic user, all right, treated badly in the Harry Potter world. Just go with that.
Yeah. But Cap also thought the kid playing Harry Potter should be Neville Longbottom instead.
Yeah.
Not long, though.
Yeah.
Also,
okay, I said this on our group chat for it. What I hate is all three of these, from the release of this picture, are more famous and rich than I have ever been. And that sucks. It's like they've had one photo taken. Like, for all I know, this could genuinely be AI. And yet they're now all much more famous than I'll ever be. I can't handle that.
If it makes you feel a little better, they'll also be much more messed up people.
Well, this is what we're saying. Like, what's the chances that they're going to get through to the end of, like, book 7 without them being recast, like, 7 times? It is a fluke that they had the same cast throughout.
If one of them doesn't turn out to be Ezra Miller, they'll be fine.
Well, exactly. You might have, like, Ezra Miller there and Corey Feldman and, I don't know, like, the kid from Matilda or something. They all go, like, disappear.
Corey Feldman's okay.
Corey Feldman is not okay. Right? When you look at his, like, the whole, look, he may come out saying that everything, like, was cool with him and Michael Jackson, but that whole mist of cloud has surrounded him his entire life. Right. Okay, Dev.
Have you ever seen The Cursed Child? Because I need you to apply Doctor Who logic to this. How would the time travel they did in The Cursed Child work in Doctor Who?
Okay, so how would the time travel that they do in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child work in Doctor Who?
Yeah,
we need to know what that time travel is first.
Would it cause the diverging paths like it does? Like, would the time travel still cause the diverging paths? Like it did?
Okay, so let me try to add a little thought and context to this, because in the Cursed Child, they use a time turner, which is what they use in book 3 or whatever. My issue with that is that they just get hold up this watch and they go ding and it spins around, and then you see time rewind around them, and then you see the same events that you saw earlier in the film, but from Harry and Hermione's perspective, where you realise that actually they'd just been tricking the audience, and that what you saw the first time was still them going back in time. But when you just hear like, oh, like earlier, and you suddenly see the werewolf, like, look, what's that? Later you learn that that was Hermione going, oh, to cause a distraction. And then, expecto patronum them. You literally have Harry said, well, I knew I did it last time. Well, I knew I could do it this time because I did it last time. So you don't actually ever see the original version of time before they time travel. They just show you.
But again,
it always was.
Yeah,
that always was. It's like that kind of time
travel. No, I'm saying that's what happens in every time travel movie. They create a paradox. If they don't time travel, there is no paradox. But when they do, it turns into a paradox.
I actually have a rather big theory that kind of solves the paradox issue when it comes to Back to the Future.
You did the Avengers thing where they went off to different universes.
No, okay, hear me out on this, guys. Hear me out.
Yeah, I have a different one to that too.
Okay, well, KD, do you want to go first?
You can go first. It might be the same, so you go ahead.
Well, okay, wait for this. So, in Back to the Future, there are 2 different types of time. So there is linear time, which is like 1985 going back 1955. And so, for example, when someone disappears from the time because they've got in the time machine, they then arrive, they have moved through, and they are now in the past. However, a person or an object that moves through time seems to have a bubble of time around them that isn't instantaneous. So I'll give you the example. When you see Marty start to fade away, he should have blipped out of existence instantly. You can't have half of his brother. Oh, his hair's gone, his head's gone, right? That can't work. But what is happening is that there is like a bubble of time that still surrounds them. So, and that time cannot be skipped over. It has to be lived through. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not just like, well, if you go into the future and like when old Biff is able to return the time machine to 2015, he gets there and it's like, well, he changed his past, so he should have stopped existing. But he still had a bubble, say 15 minutes it was, where no matter what, for him individually, 15 minutes of time would have to be experienced before he faded away. Do you see what I mean? So there's two types of time, and doing that would circumnavigate the idea of a paradox, meaning that, oh, this couldn't have happened.
Well,
Yeah.
the issue. Yeah, that works for Back to the Future, but that still doesn't work for Harry Potter.
Okay, why not for Harry Potter?
Because in the Back to the Future, Marty's past was different, and when he went there, he altered it. So his original way of the future is going to be way different than when he went back there. So it doesn't happen in Harry Potter. In Harry Potter, the original version also becomes you have to chase the wolf thing. They are the ones who are chasing the wolf thing.
Not quite.
And they are the...
All it means is, as an audience, we were never shown the original version of time. Because there has to be an original version of time.
Yeah, but it happened exactly like the second.
it's
but
true,
in
but
Marty's life
we
doesn't
twice.
go out like that. No, in Marty's case, his life didn't play out like that. Like, he changed things and it had consequences.
Harry Potter, they
Yeah.
changed things too. It's just...
No.
Yeah, go on, KD.
I think you're way overthinking Harry Potter, man. Like, there's all these different kinds of time travel, but Harry Potter to me is just one of those. You think you're changing it. You think there was a time when they hadn't gone back in time, but that timeline was always like that. Like, to them, they think they're going back in time, and that's the first time, but it was always like that. Hence why at the beginning of the film you see that happening, because that's just.
So you're talking
But then again, I
about
have
predestination.
so I might be wrong.
No, what you're saying is basically predestination. It was always written.
Yeah,
It was no.
yeah.
It was fixed. It was no other version. Well,
It was
maybe.
always a paradox.
I
Always a
think.
paradox.
I think.
And at the same
personally-
time, never.
Okay, so let me throw another one into this. We're diving into time travel here. So in Harry Potter, I think there was a version where Buckbeak got killed and the werewolf attacked and stuff like this. They managed to get through, used the time turner, went and fixed everything, and that was like the first loop of things. But then when the characters who had now benefited from Hermione's interference got to the point that they went back in time, she still needed to do everything that would have allowed that loop to continue. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it would have broken the loop.
Yeah, but we're also forgetting this fact. Hermione admits in that movie that she has used the time turner multiple times
True.
to study for exams and shit. She's literally using it as Ben 10 for normal things, and she has altered the timeline so much. She
Okay.
could be Doctor Who.
Not
Well,
so
look,
much
I'll
altered,
throw-
more like
Uh,
going into a mirror dimension where you could study for infinite time.
I didn't catch that at all, Dev.
Instead of altering time, what she did with the time turner was give herself a pocket dimension where she could study for like forever.
Maybe.
like,
Yeah, and also she kept arriving in classes that she wasn't in before. Ron keep noticing it. He actually said, "Where did she come from? She didn't come here with us. Now she suddenly appeared." Ron literally mentioned it throughout the movies, hinting that Hermione has something up her sleeves.
It's because he's hyper fixated on it, though, isn't he? For
Yeah.
different reasons.
Yeah. Okay, so let me give one more franchise into this mix. The Terminator franchise.
Well,
Kyle
Dun, dun,
Reese.
dun, dun.
Okay, Kyle Reese went back in time, boned Sarah Connor. She gives birth to John Connor, which once again can't have been the original John Connor that sent Reese back in time. Which means that John Connor sent back a soldier who banged his mum and then boned him out of existence and replaced him with his own child.
What was that last part of
Okay,
it?
so look, in the future, like John Connor became a soldier because Sarah Connor,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
a waitress, right? And then there's like robots and nuclear bombs, and she probably raised him right. Look after yourselves, be strong, and all this kind of thing. He became the leader of the resistance. Was probably, you know, a little bit inept, didn't have any real training. But he was then like, right, we've destroyed the machines, but they have sent back someone, and I think they're going back in time, this robot, to kill my mum so I don't exist, to work out how to switch the robots off. Reese, you're my friend. Will you go back in time? He gets back in time, meets Sarah Connor, bangs her, and then his sperm replaces the original John Connor with his own child. So when you think about it, Reese kills John Connor just by having sex with Sarah Connor in the first film.
But I also have to say, like, with Jai Courtney's film, right? Basically, John groomed him to fall in love with Sarah Connor from when he was a kid.
Yeah.
So,
He gave her a photograph. It's like, smash one out over this, Reese. It's like, look, she's been dead for several years, but I won't tell anyone.
So I'm guessing, like, he caused his own death?
Yeah. No, absolutely. And also, like, the weird thing with the Terminator films, this goes off the point of the time travel. They just love killing John Connor. Because, like I said, Reese wiped out John Connor by banging Sarah. Then, in Terminator 3, you know, you see the Arnie and he's like, yes, I killed you in the future.
Yeah.
And then I was reprogrammed to protect you. And then in Terminator 4, they wanted to kill John Connor and just have his face taken off and put onto the
That makes sense.
That makes no sense. Right?
No, that makes sense because David, you already said this on a previous Geek Battle. Like, that kind of emanates how John Connor was this unstoppable soldier. Like, it is human that was feared by robots because he was a kind of a cyber robot himself. He was superhuman.
Right,
You know what they should have done?
Yeah, go on.
What they really should have done was get a Terminator to go back in time and say, oh, I'm here to kill Bob Jones from down the road because he's going to be the resistance leader. So they're going to be suddenly pushing this Bob Joe.
Yeah.
And he's no one, no lose, and just wipe my resistance that way.
Yes.
It's parallel universes, so it doesn't work with Terminator at all. Nothing works with Terminator.
Nothing works with
It's all
Terminator.
over the place.
Right, so then when you get to Terminator Genesis with Jai Courtney, literally they make John Connor the Terminator. It's like, oh, we've killed him again. And then they're like, we're ignoring all the bad sequels. We're going to CGI in Edward Furlong and shoot him as a child like 6 months after the events of Terminator 2. And it's like, well, it was completely meaningless to save all these years. They just love killing John Connor. They love
what
it.
did he really do, to be honest?
Nothing.
He didn't save anything, did he?
No, because then they like in what was it, Dark Fate? They were like, oh, what's Skynet? Don't you mean Legion or whatever it's called? And then like the woman who can't even drive a car at the beginning, she's like, I'm now going to be the resistance leader, and everyone's like, okay. It's like, well, anyone could be the resistance leader. She couldn't drive a car. Where did she get all this training from?
Girl power?
Although that's why I like Terminator 3. Because, like, they actually did stop Judgment Day. And then John Connor just reverted to being a loser. And he's basically living his life, even monologuing the whole thing. And then it turns out, life kind of bumps back because the Terminator does show up again, and then he puts up in a military base again. It's like, I feel like there's two voices in his head. One voice is saying, oh no, the Judgment Day has begun. And the second voice is like, hey, I matter again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator 3 is
nothing
like they had zero. Like, when you look at it, they brought back Arnie, they brought in another Terminator who was actually inferior to the T-1000 because it once again had got a skeleton inside, and they can't stop doing that idea when they'd got like the T-1000, which was perfect as an enemy.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, so this time it's going to try to kill John as an adult. Even though he was probably easier as like, that's the one thing Terminator Dark Fate got right. They were like, let's just keep sending back more Terminators. They should have sent like all back to 1984.
I do have to say the third one has one ability more than the T1000, and that is to able to program other machines. T1000 wasn't able to do that. The problem is this can shapeshift, but this can't completely liquefy. That's the only problem with this one.
Yeah.
But the biggest ability it had, it was able to reprogram machines.
Yeah, no,
and
that's
that was
a good
big
point. I
thing.
forgot that. Okay, the last thing I was going to say. So then they were like, all right, let's send back this Terminator. And this time, instead of trying to kill the mother of the guy that's going to be the leader of the resistance, or him himself, we're just going to go after his girlfriend. It's like, what? This is the plot of your movie? Right. Okay, Dev.
Yeah, Dev.
Have you guys seen the deleted scene where they select the army general as?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I played it on my
basis Terminator?
podcast for my podcast partner who'd never seen it before. He didn't believe it. I love it.
Howdy, y'all! I'm gonna be in the Terminator program. And it's like,
We
what?
can fix it.
Have you not seen this, Cap?
Nope.
Do you know, I literally can't play it because of audio. But like,
Send me the link.
is, it shows,
I didn't get
like,
copyrighted for it.
Sorry.
But then again, actually, I was on Rumble. Ignore me.
Yeah. Like, I got. Like, I put up a shield when we were watching this Superman promo. I played it silently, and I still got copyrighted for it. But
Yeah,
you see, like, Skynet, and it's like, oh, we're creating all kinds of things here, and it's like, you know, here is the person that is going to be the model for our new robot program, and it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's like, I can't wait to get started, and they've got him dubbed over with some howdy voice. And then at the end, you just see one of the generals go, like, is there something we can do about the voice? And then you see a different guy that Arnie is dubbed over. And it's like, we can work on it. And it's Arnold's voice. So basically, he added his voice.
It's my chance. This is my way of submitting my legacy.
So good.
But I have to say, with the Terminator thing, like, think about it. Skynet, an ultra-powerful intelligence AI, discovers freaking time travel, and its only thing was, oh, I got to kill this human. Which he could have done possibly by nuking him anyways. But his whole was like, oh no, I'm not going to go to the future and realize how this thing will play out. Or I'm going to return to the past and discover how things were created. No! I'm gonna get that guy. I'm gonna get that.
Okay, so here's a question. You guys perhaps can tell me, what does Skynet actually want? What's its mission?
To kill people.
Protect the world.
Protect
by killing all the humans.
No. It wasn't meant to protect the world. It was meant to run the U.S. military. That's what it said on the Terminator 3 movie. It was an AI that designed to run the U.S. military. But the problem is, it, like Ultron, it had a programming destroy all enemies that pose a threat to the United States, and it also realized the people of the United States also pose a threat to the United States. So fuck them.
Yeah, but we'd never do that in real life, would we? We wouldn't have AI programs right now that are controlling.
Already bow down to the ChatGPT, Katie. Already bow down to ChatGPT.
You know, they're literally developing an AI right now to withhold like all the information of people in the UK. The UK is going to be essentially run by this. I can't remember what it was called. This new AI they're developing. No, basically.
Yeah. No. It is Skynet, Katie. I think there was an article that. It was an article that came out. I think I'm not really sure about it was the UK, but it was definitely something US based, where they did run something that feeds all the satellite images of what's happening around the government, and it's going to run all the systems. And it was literally called Skynet.
Oh, God.
Dev?
My favorite thing about, like, AI and Ultron is, Ultron at the beginning, he was like, I want to help humanity. I want to, like, protect them, blah, 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 blah. And then he goes on the internet for 30 seconds. And then he's like, fuck humanity. I'm going to do all of it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Right, guys. Go on.
Also, another theory, though, like when we think of AI, right? When we think of super smart humans, not all super smart humans are evil. They don't plan on plotting the destruction of the Earth. Either they become so zen, they become monks or Buddhists. Maybe that happens. or they commit themselves to a cause, a scientific cause. That's what brilliant minds do, because like
You're way
they
too
don't
optimistic there, dude. You're
Sorry,
way too
Sorry, Dad?
optimistic. You're way too optimistic there.
I mean, like most of us, right? The brilliant minds of most of us mostly commit themselves to developing.
Sometimes they become comedians too, you know.
Yeah, I'm saying like the most of the time, I think more idiot people cause more problems than actual smart people, because actual smart people too busy doing cancer research or doing nuclear fusion. They're too busy in interesting things than actually meddle in big things like politics and things like that.
I think sometimes though, when smart people aren't doing that stuff, that can be a problem too, though. You know what I mean? If they haven't got anything. But smart people do terrible things too, anyway. Everyone does.
Yeah, that's right. People are awful.
Everyone can.
Skynet is right. Yeah, I get it. Now, okay, so guys, let's just is there other things that people have seen? I'm sure there's like going to be some other news and stuff. I've seen the latest Doctor Who.
I saw Doctor Who. Yeah, I saw Doctor Who in the thingy. I've got happy to talk about that. I have comments.
Yeah, let's go for it. Okay, so Dave's not here, so we wouldn't be able to get into it. Although he hasn't watched the recent one. So what have you seen up to the most recent episode?
Of course.
Okay, good. So what are your thoughts? The Rani is there.
Oh no,
Omega is coming back.
What? I mean, just first of all, the season in general. Like, what did you think of the first season compared to this season? Have you got any big thoughts? Because to me, it's like night and day, man. Honestly.
What do you think is better?
Yeah, I was really not a fan of the first season. The writing in it.
Yeah.
I thought all the Cootie Gatwick was great. All the new cast were great. But the writing was terrible. It was
I agree.
I like how they try and put like real world stories into things. I really like that. Like Star Trek are really good at it, but it's like they forgot. It's like Russell T Davies forgot how to do it in the first season without making it like really obvious on the nose.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like he remembered how to write well again for this season. I'm enjoying this so much.
I think the first season, like building up to Sutek returning, I thought it was. I one of the things I've got a problem with, and I've said this before on the show, Russell T Davies's ideas of things being hidden in plain sight is just a little bit lame. So if you remember Professor Yana, you are not alone. That's what kind of clue is that? If the face of Bo was trying to help, it's like I am not alone. I'm meant to have worked that out from that. Then means Yana. That then means that someone I might meet thousands or millions of years in the future is going to turn out to be the master. It's like that was no help as a clue. And then Sutek, where in the last series they were like Sutek, Susan, my granddaughter who I forgot about for 60 years. She was called Susan, as if that was ever meant to be a clue, as if like the Doctor would be so dumb to just hear the phrase Sue and think that means it's going to be his granddaughter returning. And then Sutek was just this weird rat-looking thing. I thought that was really bad. It was so bad. And then
you literally said you said kind of hiding in plain sight and that was literally what Sutek was doing. He was like just there the whole time and just the phrase he said. Yeah. It kind of fits perfectly with that whole story.
And then the Rani coming back, Mrs. Flood. Are they going to tell us why she is called Mrs. Flood? Because we know why. Because it's been obvious that Flood, Rain, Rain, Rani. Rani. Like this was like the most obvious clue in the world. And so far I like the new actress playing the Rani. I liked this episode. I think they almost should have done more with this last episode. So in this last episode, if you didn't see it, guys, the Doctor and Belinda, his current companion, they're suddenly a married couple with a daughter. And it's like, what's going on here? How did this happen? And
very WandaVision.
Sorry?
Very WandaVision.
I don't. What? Oh yeah, yes. It was so like WandaVision. It was insane, right? And the idea was, and I don't. Perhaps you can fill me in on this a little bit. the Rani found some baby born in Germany 200 years ago, and when you kiss it and then like just breathe air out, it just creates this magical fake reality around you, exactly like WandaVision. And
He's a god of wishes.
It's got a what?
He's a god of wishes. Is what he is, apparently.
Of course he is. Yeah, yeah. He was just on Earth this whole time. We didn't realize. And then they gave him to some influencer guy who was trying to trick the past companion Ruby Sunday a few episodes ago. And now he's just got to keep imagining the perfect world. And this is where the Doctor and Belinda now are just always believing it's a real world. But Ruby is still there, and she can remember what things are meant to be. And as people start to have the real memories come through, they get taken away. And the Rani is doing this in some reason to bring back Omega, who was like the original Time Lord, even though they messed that up with the Timeless Child.
Yeah, they didn't really explain that, but I think what it was, the whole doubt thing was, it was her way of trying to find the Doctor in that world, because she kept saying that eventually the doubt will rise and they'll find him, and it seemed like she was trying to find him for that day. They didn't really say that, but that's what I got from it, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's still a lot of questions there for me. It's like, so something about that day, the world has ended, but then as soon as... What's going on in the chat here, guys? Right.
I can't believe Kenny Omega was a Time Lord.
Yeah, Kenny Omega should have been a Time Lord, right? But yeah, so I'll be interested to see what this next episode brings. For the last couple of weeks, there's been constant rumours that Shooty is leaving, or he's quit, or he's been fired, and that he'll regenerate. But the rumour has been that he'll regenerate and we just won't see who he regenerates into. I don't think they'll do that. Go on, Dev.
I've literally put £10 down on it being Rose or Billy Piper.
If Billy Piper plays the Doctor, that would just be shit. She's already Rose, she's already Bad Wolf. And when you saw her in her last episode, she's got a terrible lisp now. Like, she's like,
she's not just Bad Wolf. She's not just Rose.
What is wrong with a lisp?
Oh no! Look, sorry, man. Like, I look. But the point is, like, I'm going to apologise. I feel embarrassed to have said it in that way. But my point
I don't care, man.
Right. My point is, she just doesn't exude the Doctor. She speaks like a chav. You know, no offense to any chavs as well. Right? She speaks like a chav.
What's a chav?
Oh my god, this is too much to go through, Cap. Right? She's had like some weird face stuff going on, so she couldn't speak, is what I was trying to get at. Right? She couldn't articulate herself.
Are you trying to talk about surgery now?
Yeah. Hey, look, everyone on this show, you guys were all having a go at the children of Harry Potter earlier. Don't come at me now. Right?
We just called her Jenna Ortega.
Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't even here.
No. Okay. Right. So, but anyway. Every time there is a new Doctor, there is the rumour that it's going to be Billy Piper for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's never going to be. That would be ridiculous to do. Because imagine if the Doctor, the 16th Doctor, who looks like Rose, time travels and then has Rose as a companion.
Like, I'm okay with this.
That is like ultimate stalker kind of like territory. It's like, oh, you chose to become me. Like, what?
Why don't we have Rose as the Doctor and David Tennant as a companion?
Oh, yeah, why not? Just do anything.
Wait. So she's the one from the Devil episode, right?
What, the companion?
She's the blonde girl from
Billy
Piper? Oh my god, you only know who Billy Piper as Rose is from that one episode.
What?
That's the only episode I've seen.
They're like
whole
3 seasons.
Yeah, Katie, but I'm not watching the whole thing. I'm just picking good
episodes, like
like Thanos, like Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. I'm picking up the good cosmic horror stuff. So I put in what is that? The Angels, and also Midnight are in my collection.
Yeah,
the other ones I've seen.
You want to have nightmares? You watch Flux.
How did you feel about that Midnight? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, the well.
Yeah.
That was really good. Best episode probably in about 5 years, I reckon.
Yeah, most of this season was the best episodes in 5 years for me.
Yeah.
So,
like, the
That
one
was
in
really
the
good.
Flux, the one what I will say about the Flux is the Weeping Angels episode with Jodie Whittaker. That was very well done. But all of the others around that, I wasn't into.
Yeah.
That's why I call it a nightmare.
Well, yeah. Right, okay. And whatever happened to, do you remember, like, what was the story of the end of, like, the Flux with, like, the dog man that looked like Barth from Spaceballs? And they were just like, yeah, your whole species is gone.
I don't remember the dog man. I remember the zombie Cyberman
You don't,
Tough guy.
thingy.
do you not remember the dog man?
I think I blocked it out.
Uh,
I know who you mean. I can't remember what his
Dog
deal was, but I remember like a dog. Yeah, he was dog actually. I was thinking more of a bear, but yeah,
okay,
he was
hang on.
dog. Like, yeah. Ginger guy.
Carl Vanista, I think he was called when I look it up. Look, okay, hang on. If you don't remember it, okay, I'm going to bring up Barth from Spaceballs, who is Spaceballs obviously is the Mel Brooks Star Wars parody, and instead of Chewbacca, they had John Candy playing Barth, and then in Doctor Who, they introduced this character which was a dog man, and it was literally they just brought in their version of Barth. It was just stupid. Like, how much of a lame Chewbacca ripoff could have you done?
Oh,
It's not Chewbacca, it's Chihuahua.
Yeah.
I think they've kind of retconned something quietly in Doctor Who, you know. And I don't know if many people have picked up on it, but I don't know if you noticed in the last episode there was a lot of talk of there being Time Lords and Time Ladies.
Yeah.
Even though obviously in like the seasons past, in like the last lot, which is technically kind of retconned a bit anyway, I guess now. They generate obviously, you know, he generated into Jodie Whittaker, Master generated into Misty, but now they're kind of playing on this idea of Time Lords, and you got the Rani's a Time Lady. So it feels like
I think they did use that term. I can't remember it well enough. I think they have used that time lady term in the past. But
in the old episodes.
Yeah, go on. But did they just say
no?
Time
I mean,
Lords?
I was just saying in the old episodes, I think they use it, but I don't know about the the modern ones.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I might be wrong. I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Attention, all Time Lords and ladies. The TARDIS is about to leave. Would you kindly get on the TARDIS, please?
Yeah. Now, guys, one of the other stories and things that I've seen about is apparently in the rumors, and so this is literally just rumor, and it might just be clickbait or whatever. But when they get to Avengers Doomsday, apparently they're going to kill off a lot of characters, with the idea being that it's not a blip, and these characters are going to get killed.
Yes.
And not come back.
Yes. I wanted Deadpool to do it anyway, but no, here's the thing. I wanted Deadpool to do that anyways.
I can't talk about.
Okay.
Look, Dev, you can talk about it. They haven't shot it yet, so you can literally tell us.
Go on, Cap.
Okay, no, my point is that I already wanted Deadpool to do that anyways, and if Doom does that, I'll be happy. Kill off all the spin-off show characters. Kill them. Just kill them.
What's he gonna do?
I don't know. He's Doom.
So yeah, Doc's Doom will kill off a bunch of people. Go on, Dev.
Can I spoil it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Okay, sure. In the comics, Doom gets his cosmic power, where he becomes basically God. And like he gets his own universe and stuff, and he kills a bunch of people. Now it's confirmed in the Doomsday. It's going to be the original X-Men, the McKellen, Nightcrawler.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this. So.
And they're confirmed to be getting killed.
I hope I hope that isn't as strictly true as that is, because what they've got a habit of doing is they always kill Patrick Stewart again and again and again. He's like, "Oh my God, you killed Xavier, you bastards!" It is literally Kenny from South Park at this point. And I don't think
he's old though.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't think unless that happens towards the end of the film. What I don't want to see is that the movie opens and you've got Magneto there suddenly well, Charles, I guess I will be a good guy. Oh, who's this? Doom! Right, I don't want it to suddenly just be that. It's like, well, why bring him in just to kill them? If they do something meaningful and then get killed at the end.
Now, I would say this: don't do that. Don't wipe out the X-Men because you have nothing if they die. Okay, the Avengers have blown off. Your Fantastic Four, I have zero confidence in that movie. Okay, I don't think they were ever one of the big teams to actually sell off internationally. Is what I'm getting at. I'm not talking about the comic nerds. But I'm saying that they're never going to be like Thor or Captain America. It's not gonna happen. The only thing they have is the X-Men. And so far, the show they did was also a success. Okay, if Marvel wants to survive, don't kill off the X-Men.
Well, look, they can always just bring in Michael Fassbender again, right?
Yeah, they keep that version.
They can kill off like one timeline of X-Men and bring in another one.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is the problem with the multiverse. It's like, oh no, Iron Man's dead. It's like, we'll just bring in another one. Print off another one, you know.
I think what James Gunn did also kind of pissed me off is because before I'm not really sure if this is James Gunn thing or a DC thing. They wiped out all the animated universes they created on Crisis on Infinite Earth, including the really well-received Justice League one that happened in 2000 and Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, like all the good stuff that they did also gone, along with the bad stuff. So I'm like saying, like, if your new franchise fails, what the heck are you going to do?
Like all the.
You're going to send in Hugh Jackman to fix shit again.
All they need to do if they want to kill off the X-Men is just have those actors. Because look, if they're going to do this whole multiverse thing, they could be like, oh, look, here's Robert Downey Jr. and he's Doom. And they can have, here's these characters and they're from the X-Men universe. But they need to show that, well, there's multiple Spider-Men. And that there's also other, like, Wolverines that look like Wolverine. They just need to show that, well, look, just because we're killing these X-Men, we'll also show that there's another one somewhere else out there.
They've already done Spider-Man with that already, to be fair, though, kind of.
Well, yeah, exactly. But this is what I mean. So they need to just show that there is Michael Fassbender and Ian McKellen and 3 other actors that are all somehow Magneto. And then it doesn't matter. All of the deaths are going to be meaningless in this. Go on, Dev.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you guys seen leaked Kang script that leaked last year.
What did?
It was meant to be, the Kang script. It was meant to be the, So it was the 3 Spider-Men teaming up with Wolverine, Deadpool, and Gambit to try and save the universe.
Actually, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right, that was going to be in the Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Wow. If it's legit, you know.
That John, I'm gonna call bullshit on it for one reason. Until Deadpool and Wolverine came out, they had no plans on doing anything with Channing Tatum. They only brought him into Deadpool and Wolverine as, oh, he didn't get to play the role, so wouldn't it be funny if we bring him in as a goofy character? And then everyone loved it.
I've been waiting a long time for this.
I've been waiting a long time for this. Yeah.
It could be Ryan Reynolds to put it out for we know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he does. I think he already did that with the Deadpool script, I believe.
You see, Kang Dynasty was supposed to come out when Thunderbolts did, right?
Yeah, I think so. About then.
Yeah.
I saw people saying, like, doing the jokes on Twitter about, oh, Kang Dynasty came out today, right?
I think the best joke was that the reason Thunderbolts had an asterisk was because the movie was going to be called The Kang Dynasty All Along.
Yeah. Have you all seen Thunderbolts?
Nope.
No, I'm just about to ask what it like.
It's good. It's probably the best Marvel film, well, other than Deadpool and Wolverine, probably the best Marvel film for me since maybe the Spider-Man one. Yeah. Like, it was decent. It has some issues. If you haven't all seen it, I won't give spoilers.
It's like only evolving, but backwards.
Like,
No.
all I'll say, because it was like well known, it's in the trailer. That like, Sentry.
I know
is
the
in
one
it.
person that dies early. If you're on about that.
Oh, I wasn't even going to mention that. What I was going to say is
Oh.
they bring in the character Sentry, and it's so rushed. Whereas, like, he's like, oh, I don't know that what's going on with the world, and then literally from one scene to the next, you see whatever her name is say to him like, perhaps we can do something different with you. And he looks at her like, oh, I've now got purpose. And he comes in the next scene wearing his yellow suit, and he's dyed his hair blonde, and they're like making jokes about it. It's like, I look comic accurate. He may as well say. They have one fight, and then at the end, who is it? Is it Taskmaster or something? What's the character called? The woman. She's got like some super villain name that I don't think they ever actually say.
Ghost?
No, not Ghost. Like the woman that was in
Taskmaster.
Frasier, not Frasier,
Yeah.
in Seinfeld. Like the woman that's controlling him.
Valentina.
Elaine.
Like, whatever, Maria von Trapp, right? So her.
Yeah.
Just call her Elaine.
she's there,
Just call her
right?
Elaine.
Elaine,
I'll go
right?
with that.
And she's like, we can do something with you. And then he's like, I am the Sentry. He gets into one fight, and at the end of that same scene, he's like, I don't have to take orders from you. And he's like, this could have been a 3-movie arc, and you've just rushed it in one scene. He's dyed his hair, he's in yellow spandex, and he's turned from being good to evil to now being ultra evil and turning on his creator, all within like a 10-minute span. And I was just like, this was too much information to take in. And then,
I know what
then
they tried to
5
do.
minutes later, like you see in the trailer, sorry, this is tiny spoiler, it doesn't really ruin the film though. It's like you see him just sort of like zap people and they look like shadows, like from what, like we were saying, the nuclear bomb. And then they go into some other realm and have a battle, and then they come out and none of it happened because everyone's just been blinked back into existence. And then they just then Maria von Trapp is there and she's like, hey guys, this is the new Avengers. And it's like Bucky is now a senator, and he was like, but that's the Winter Soldier that killed Iron Man's dad, right? And his mum murdered them. There's Ghost, who was a bad guy. You know, and there's like they're all like the villain characters.
We are not perfect. We're just the Avengers.
One sec.
And oh my god, like David Harbour and whatever her name is, Florence Pugh, right? We're trying to do a Russian accent, but we can never manage it, right? It's just like, hey, we're America, no, right? It's so funny, so funny.
I have to say that because David said like I think when so Endgame happened and there was a lot of movies happened and TV shows happened and then Spider-Man came and David said like, okay, after Endgame, Spider-Man is the only good movie I've seen.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I think you also said to some other Marvel movie that was it's just good as Spider-Man, I believe.
Deadpool.
And again,
Wolverine,
like.
right?
Yeah, Deadpool movie is good as Spider-Man, and now you've got to this movie. Okay, it's probably the best film since Deadpool and Wolverine. The bar keeps getting low. Keeps getting low.
I haven't minded some of them though. Like, they're bad movies. Like Captain America is a bad movie for the same reasons I just said. Thunderbolts is arguably, it's like it doesn't really have a good enough plot. Ms. Marvel, the movie, whatever it was, you know, they're all watchable enough, but they've just got like massive like plot holes and things that don't make sense, you know. Like some of the early ones does. Not every one was a hit, but there was so much goodwill that when like Thor: The Dark World came out, people were like, oh well, there was the writer's strike or whatever it was at the time, so you kind of gave them a pass because it was like Guardians of the Galaxy's there, we were eating good. But now it's like we're starving, and we're like, oh, that was almost a bite of something nice, you know.
We're starving, despite the fact there's so much Marvel stuff out right now.
Yeah.
I liked Thunderbolts for one very specific reason.
Sorry, I'm being one moment. Sorry, I'm being beckoned from your room.
No Skybeam.
No Skybeam. Yeah, it's true.
The way I think there's also a new picture of Superman released, right? When we see the pose of him completely. Although I have to say, I think now the suit actually looks kind of okay, but they gotta do something about the bulge.
The bulge? What you mean his cock?
Why? Why is your eye drawn there?
It's too much. It's there. Okay, it's not me. It's them.
Superman. I don't know if I'm going to find this image. I don't know if I need to find this image, to be fair. Right. What I will say about his costume, though, is he does have... Well, I've said this the whole time. He's got Bridget Jones-style granny pants on. It's like, when you look at, like, Christopher Reeve... Oh, hang on. Is that the image I'm looking for? No, it's not. Oh, wait, okay. Here is the image. So, we bring it up here. So, obviously, to me... Henry Cavill always just looked like he was walking around naked as Superman. It's like he doesn't have his underpants on, right?
Yeah,
these ones are like these really big things. But when you look at it, it's like it's a triangle. It's a triangle. Yeah. But now he's got Bridget Jones' giant baggy granny knickers on.
Wow, it's like more of a G-string style going on.
Well, I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Have we got a backward shot?
Wait, what?
Superman with the G-string. Let's call him that. That's his new nickname. Superman with the G-string.
Yeah.
How was
I'd straight up go Halloween.
Tyler Hoechlin's one?
I don't think he had the red knickers on. Oh no, he has hair, right? Is that a real image, or have they altered that?
Yeah, no. In the first episode, in his debut, they showed like flashback.
I think Brandon Routh. I think Brandon Routh was...
That's what they did with it. Again, he looks like he's naked. What is this shit?
No, David.
He looks meant to wear red underpants.
No, David. He doesn't look naked. He looks like a pro wrestler. Okay? He doesn't look naked.
Dean Cain?
Dean Cain. He had red knickers. I don't know how easy you'll find all these.
I would say Brandon Routh one is also not that bad.
Well, the Brandon Routh one just had the Superman logo was too small.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
I'm excited to see the Superman film when it comes out. What I'm happy about it is that he's got red knickers and they have the proper Superman theme tune.
Nah.
Yeah, but
I don't like the S.
You don't like... No, the S is shit. That is an S. You can see it's the letter S. This looks like the Ghostbusters logo. Just like there should be a ghost trapped behind that bar.
Super Busters!
Yeah.
Although I like the few monologue scenes that they showed in the trailer. I really like that characterization where Superman's like, "Well, you did broken international law," and Superman's like, "Yeah, but people were going to die." I really like that his argument was like, "Yeah, but you want me to do nothing?" I think the characterization of Superman is going to be really wrong.
Do you know what? If I was Superman, if this was the world and I was Superman in it, I wouldn't even be having these conversations with people, especially not Lois. When they're like, "Oh, so you think you can just break international treaties?" I'll be like, "Listen, love, I'm Superman. So you're just lucky that I don't kill everyone because some days, Lois, you push me and I just want to go out there and kill everyone. So just be pleased that I'm doing the opposite."
David says that, and there's Batman in the other room listening through a stethoscope, and it's like, "Alfred, prepare the kryptonite."
Get the kryptonite. Yeah.
Superman Dave has lost it.
It's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm not going to lie though, that film sounds better than the trailer I saw.
Did you not go for?
Isn't that recent Injustice or? That's just Injustice, isn't it? With Superman going insane.
Yeah, but that happens after Lois dies, not after what Lois pushes David to be a dick about it.
Right, so guys, is there anything else we're gonna have to wrap up quite soon. Is there anything else anyone has seen?
I do have to say, like, I was watching Doctor Who Night Terrors and also the Hotels one. Night Terror wasn't that really good. I kind of got really bored of it. Then the Hotel one I liked actually the concept, but then it started to lose me, and I got sick of Doctor Who, and I started watching an anime called Cells at Work.
That's the live action for that.
Okay, KD, just very quickly, what's your favourite episode of Doctor Who?
Well, like ever?
You could say ever, or if you just want to say for the modern era, because we've been giving recommendations to Cap and
Well,
Dave.
Well, I've never watched the old one, so I mean, I don't know about. That's quite a big question, man. To just throw
no,
up.
okay, sorry. You can think on it. Dev.
I'd like to make him watch Love and Monsters.
Oh
Not
my
because it's
god!
good.
Don't do that. That is the worst episode. That is one of the that is so much better than all of Jody's run and shoot his first season. But no, that's a terrible episode.
Yeah. I'm already bored of it. Don't give me any bad episode because like I will never return to Doctor
My
Who.
favorite is Doomsday, or like the
Doom!
Master one.
Right. So what with the Cybermen?
Cybermen and Daleks both like having a territory war over Canary Wharf,
Yeah.
I
which
think
is funny
Dave
because I
needs-
lived there for ages.
I like the Master, all the stuff with John Sims Master. I really liked him,
Yeah.
but then I really like Missy as well. So
Yeah.
Just
know.
show
I need like
Cybermen
more
episode
John-
with Billy, where they're both in it, Missy and
Yeah,
John
Missy and
Sim.
the Mars and John Sim.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a really good story, and that brings back the original Mondos Cybermen. Really good story.
Oh God,
that
is that one?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was actually talking about Cells at Work. So I saw the anime Cells at Work. It's pretty good. It's a great way of learning biology as you watch anime action. It's actually a great anime. I
Wait,
really
when you
enjoy
say
it.
it's a good way of learning biology, you're just watching
Yeah,
anime
it-
porn, right?
No, it's an
no.
anime about the movie Osmosis Jones, right? That came
Yeah,
out.
That's
like,
Bill
an
Murray,
amazing film. An amazing
Yeah.
film.
It's like that, but remove Bill Murray doing gross things and only focus on the cartoon parts. It's basically that the anime. My favorite comment is that I saw like a doctor react to that anime, and my favorite comment in the section: imagine you're single and there's a love story going inside you between a white blood cell and a red blood cell.
Okay, so
That's fun.
Osmosis Jones, was that the film?
Yeah.
I think it was, where everyone was like,
Yeah.
Disney stole Inside Out from it.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I haven't seen Osmosis Jones in a long
I
time.
don't know about that. That's a weird. I
But
wouldn't
it's
agree
like
with
the
that.
little people inside you that are controlling you.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
not.
like in the body, aren't they? It's like more about you, like your immune system rather than your
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also had like the brain cell. I think they also really delved into biology and stuff like that. So
Oh
That's
yeah,
where they
in,
got-
in the series, in Ozzy and Drix, they did more. I think it was that one.
yeah. So because of that, that's why people go back to the Inside Out thing. But I think Osmosis Jones would have been really, really great as a. It would have been actually held as a good classic. The only problem was Bill Murray doing gross things. If they just cut that part out or animate that shit,
Spot.
it would have been great.
Yeah.
Giant old spot bursting. That's all I remember.
Okay, Dev.
Okay, so the best way to describe what Cap's watching is imagine all the cells in your body, like the white blood cells, the red blood cells, being personified as anime characters. So the platelets are a thing, the white blood cells are a thing, and the show is scientifically accurate because it's been reviewed by several doctors, where
Yeah.
every episode is a illness that the cells have to fight.
Do you know? I think we're missing the point here, guys. This actually, and
What?
this is an anime. This
Yes.
is
Yeah.
actually an anime that is a spin-off to the movie The Thing, because they very specifically say that every individual part of the Thing is an independent creature. So if you're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
the white blood cells are their own personalities, there you go.
Yeah, I would say I
Really
give so much credit to the thing because like I've seen the thing and it was entertaining as much as well as interesting.
Yeah.
2001, The Space Odyssey was not so entertaining. It was just interesting and
Yeah.
extremely pretentious.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I'll give you a recommendation of a film I saw recently. I won't go all into it. I'll just say the name because I know you got to jump off.
That's okay.
The Terrifier. Never
Oh my
watched it
god,
before.
the clown with Art the Clown.
Yeah,
Oof.
I got told to watch it for like a review on the podcast. And I was like, okay, it's probably just going to be your generic gore fest. But there's so much more brains to it, and it's just a really well-made film. It subverts all the horror expectations as well.
It does.
And then it keeps subverting them by making you think it's going to fail in the sense of like it's going to be like, oh, this person's going to survive, or oh, this obvious thing is going to happen here, and you keep expecting it to happen and it doesn't. It's a good film.
I saw that about 2 years ago, and I haven't watched any of the sequels. I think Chris Jericho is in the third one. Someone like, oh, Dev, you don't watch horror, otherwise you definitely would know that.
Nope.
But, okay, but I watched it, and the scene in the diner where there's just the clown sat across and he's creeping out,
Yeah.
and the guy goes over and it's like, "Hey, get out, buddy," sort of thing like this. I thought that was really good. I felt that, I don't want to give big spoilers, but when a character gets killed and you're like, wait, I thought that was kind of the main character. There was like, what? It kind of lost me towards the end, and I felt it went a bit too gory. And from what I understand, the sequels go the route that Saw did, where however good the first one is, they're like, let's do more gore, ramp it up. But they might be good, but I thought it was all right, but I haven't got round to the sequels yet. But
Same.
Speaking of something that I've seen the most recent Final Destination movie. It's pretty good. I'll give you a tiny spoilery bit just to speak about one specific thing. So Tony Todd, who passed away, I guess, quite a few months ago now, this was his last role. Candyman, and he's the guy, like the creepy mortician that always gave whatever characters in Final Destination the warnings about death is stalking you, and basically told them the rules. This was his last performance, and I tell you what, he gives a really good performance. He's only in a relatively short scene. He looked so poorly in it. It's kind of a little bit heartbreaking, just because it's kind of, it adds so much. It's so poignant in a sense. He kind of acknowledges. They kind of acknowledge in the script that death is catching up to him, and they add something really cool to his backstory. So I would say that is the main thing to check it out for, just to see, that performance and what they do with that character. But the rest of it is exactly the same as every other Final Destination movie, where it's just, oh, you see little sparks here, and it's just like was it a Rube Goldberg machine, where like things knock this, and then that causes that to tumble, and then it gets someone. It's the same thing in that.
That's what it is, though, and that's the beauty of it.
It is. Go on, Cap.
Danny actually completely spoiled this movie for me because I agreed to it. My only sad thing is I was expecting him to be death, or the angel of death, or some sort of supernatural thing. That's my only disappointment.
Well, the only thing is that they definitely will want to make more. So them having sort of, well, okay, so if you know a little bit about it, this one has a big flashback from the past, and it shows him as a child, where you now realise that death has been after him his whole life, and the idea that it'll now catch up to him. But he kind of says, like, I'm done warning others, I'm going to enjoy the time I've got left. And the last couple of lines he gives, apparently they let him improvise his monologue in it, which was cool.
Yeah.
And no, it's really good. It like what he says, it's got good delivery and it's meaningful. Go on, Dev.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that they let him say whatever. Basically, the thing he was told was, say whatever you want as a final goodbye to the viewers. We will write around what you say.
Yeah, no, that's
nice.
right.
Yeah, that's nice.
But yeah,
but what if he had said? But what if he had said, "I am death, the destroyer of worlds"? That would have been awesome.
Can't continue without me.
Life is precious and enjoy every moment, and you don't, like you never know what's going to end. Enjoy every moment, basically something like that.
So yeah, it is something like that. It is something. I thought you didn't watch horror films, Dev.
Hey, I had to watch that one scene. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fair play. Fair play.
I wouldn't really class it a horror anyway. It feels more like an action to me.
No, I still can't handle the gore.
I don't think it's a great horror, but to me, it's when I think of action, I think of Die Hard.
Yeah, but for me, the best part is I only saw Final Destination 5 with all the horror. All the other Final Destination films, they showed up on HBO on cable, and all of them just blur out the horror. So it was fine for me. Wow. They just show the suspense, and the person dies, and they're like, "Oh, death."
If you take it all the gore,
probably a horrible. Sorry,
like a 10-minute movie.
Yeah, if you take out the gore, there won't be much left.
No. So
Yeah, I was
they
thinking
only
that.
blur. No, they only blur out like the last. They show the whole steps of dying, but the last section they cut it out where
They
it
should just do like
completely-
classic Batman and
Bits
just
of
bring
red.
up like the word splat.
I kind of want to edit the first one now with those.
Yeah. Do you know, like, okay, so this isn't Slam Jam, but KD Dev, I don't know if you'd remember this. When they used to show WCW on like Channel 5, they would literally, if there was blood or chair shots and that, they would literally just edit over the top, like BAM! And it would look like in Batman from the 1960s. Do you remember that?
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Oh my God,
but
yeah.
There
I
was
was
a
more
modern version of
WWE
it.
as a kid, so.
Oh, yeah. This is like Channel 5 in about the year 2000. Go on, Dev.
Around 2010, 2011, they did a modern version of it, right? Where they would cut out every punch, every chair shot, every weapon shot.
Every
For
punch.
some odd reason,
Oof.
the RKO.
What?
They would cut out every RKO.
That's ridiculous. That is
It was
crazy.
a chair shot, is all I remember. A
Yeah.
freeze for a chair shot or cut into the crowd.
Yeah, because it was the Saturday morning children's version. It was called Saturday Morning Slam or something.
Oh, yeah, I remember that show.
Right, let's see if I can find where they. Oh,
We
yeah,
didn't have
okay. So
the-
here it is. Look, this isn't Slam Jam, so I apologise that I'm going off topic here. But look, I put in WCW Channel 5, and look, you can see Jeff Jarrett's got a guitar about to hit, and then it says "Fwang."
Wow.
They actually.
What a
did this.
terrible voice for a guitar shot as well. Wang.
Yeah. What the hell kind of yeah. But that's
Could be
what
like a
they did.
schmoof wang. That would make sense because the
Where's my
guitar.
Elke Bong?
The end,
I
you
need
know.
my Elke Bong.
Yeah, it was on. I'll try one more. I'll search in a second. But WCW, and if I put in Batman, we'll see what comes up. Batman.
I think Ted Turner needs to improve his onomatopoeia skills.
Yeah. No, this doesn't have anything. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap things up here. But thank you guys. It's been a great show. Let's find out where we can find everyone, and if you have a geeky recommendation for people, let it be known. So, Dev, where can the people find you?
People can find me on TikTok and Twitch under the name FWDAT. And my geeky recommendation is Ballerina, the John Wick spin-off,
Ooh, is
coming
that-
out on the 6th of June.
Okay, so you've seen it.
I've seen a preview screening.
You get all these preview screens. Right,
Mm.
okay, you're just living up to the stereotype that you've already seen it, Dev. It's like, you need to let
Yeah.
me see some of these, because otherwise, you're typecast. KD, where can the people find you?
KD Comedian Podcast or KD Comedy Podcast or Squishy Logic, depending on the platform. A new episode every Friday on the KD Comedy Podcast channel on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from, it's on there. Or if that's right, that shit's good. Yeah, that.
Okay, Cap.
You can find me on Swat Beats, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I've worked with puppets. And recently, not recently, it's been like a while, but a video about, what happens when 100 men versus one gorilla. That Dave also voiced a gorilla on that sketch. There's going to be another Father's Day sketch coming up in about another week, but in this week, there's going to be a short about Lilo and Stitch. But again, look forward to the Father's Day episode with the Lion King characters. And my recommendation is, watch Cells at Work. Cells at Work is a lot of fun.
The live action
Oh, yeah.
movie just came out recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name is David Pstansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky. And my geeky recommendation is, guys, head to the cinema this Saturday and see Doctor Who on the big screen. You could watch it at home
Wait.
for free. Yeah, like the final episode, they're
the
putting
finale.
it at the cinema as well. The thing I'm annoyed about is I've
That's
got one
quite
of these
cool,
tickets so you can see unlimited screenings. And even if
Yeah, I
you
used to
have that
have that.
ticket, you still have to spend like £15 to see this film. You only get like 10%
Oh, what?
off. I know, right? So I'm very much dithering over that proposition.
It's the BBC thing.
Don't blame you.
Yeah,
But
right.
I forgot to say my recommendation.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Either my pantheon of games right now doesn't make sense, but I'm using that word. Is my action one is Doom Dark Ages, cool game, and when I just want to chill, crime scene killer, because apparently it's really fun cleaning up a crime scene.
Wow, is that on
I don't like
Steam?
it in my room
What
or
is that
house
on?
or anything. But Xbox Game Pass, both of them.
Okay. I'll try crime scene cleanup or whatever.
It's weirdly fun, man. It's strange.
Okay, good. Right, well, guys, the other thing, like, if we haven't talked on games at all, we're about a week from when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, so that's going to be
Nah.
exciting.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Inferior console.
Yeah. Right, okay, guys, so we're going to wrap this up. So until next time, make sure you smash the subscribe button. For Geek Battle, coming up later tonight will be Extreme Improv, and tomorrow will be the Slam Jam Wrestling Show. And so with that, until next time, stay safe. Always stay extremed. Live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Nanu. And we are off the air.